Everybody, my name is Kingsticks, and recently I went from a Diamond 5 jungler to being a Diamond 1 jungler, and it all happened this season. Up until this point, I've been a support main. In Season 6, I got Diamond 1 off of being a one-trick support main, playing primarily Alistar before he got nerfed. And this season, I tried playing a lot of support. I got stuck around Diamond 3, Diamond 2 as a Soraka main, and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of feeling helpless in a lot of my games. Even though I had a lot of impact on my team with my heals, I wanted to feel like I had a stronger input into my results. If I lost, I wanted to be able to say that game was my fault and this is what I should have done differently. And if I won, I wanted to be able to take a lot of credit. The main thing I did was I watched some other junglers in high elo. I watched some Tarzan, Pantsar Dragon, and higher elo junglers. And the biggest thing you can take away from watching the best junglers out there is that being a proactive jungler is the way to go. Being reactive is not very good. Now, being a reactive jungler basically just means you're not necessarily causing something to happen, but you're waiting for the enemy to do something and then you react to it. The problem with this is a lot of the times it ends up with you chasing your own tail. You're just chasing the enemies and not actually doing anything. The only way it's actually ever good is if you predict a tower dive and then you're there and then you save the day. But in general, that's really the only good thing about being a reactive jungler instead of a proactive jungler. A proactive jungler can force tower dives, take objectives, and can really turn a game very quickly by making decisive calls and making really good plays. The first tip I want to hit you guys with today is how to tower dive in the early game. Now, when you're tower diving in the early game, it can be tricky. You don't have a lot of HP or armor. So here are a couple of rules. Whenever you go to tower dive, make sure at the beginning of the game, try to decide who the lane bullies are on your team are. For example, if you have a Darius on your team, you know that he's going to be pushing in lane and he's going to have an advantage over any melee enemy laner. Any enemy top laner who's melee, Darius is going to have an upper edge on because he's so strong, lots of damage and lots of wave clear. So you just urge him to shove in lane, get the enemy low, and then you're simply going to come in behind the turret and kill them. The main thing is wait till your minions have reached the turret because you don't want to tank turret aggro before you need to because it does a lot of damage. So let the minions get there, and once they're there, now you're going to come up behind them, and before you attack the enemy, wait till your top laner is close enough to start auto attacking them. Because if you don't wait for that, you're going to take a lot more damage than you need to, and it's going to go bad. Now that the minions are taking the turret, make sure the enemy top laner is below 3rd health. This is very important. And try to make sure your top laner is above 2/3 health. Make sure you have full health. This way you can tank aggro, or if your top laner has full health, you can let him tank aggro. But either way, you want the person with the most health and armor to be tanking the aggro. That way it decreases the chances of you dying. The enemy top laner is low, and you and your top laner are both very close to him. Now you can go ahead and go in on him. In this situation, not only do we get a kill, but the enemy top laner loses out on a lot of gold. Experience is not only going to fuck him with his items and levels, but now Darius is just going to keep shitting on him over and over. And even if Tryndamere gets a gank, Darius is going to be so far ahead that it won't matter. At this point, I can just keep coming back, take turrets, get Herald, or I can go pressure other lanes. There are a few other highly specific tips on how to be a more proactive jungler. I will be making videos on those shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next video.